Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to a video, and this is another paid request. This time from PsychoHobo. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos or topics, reactions, commentaries, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And he wanted me to do a commentary on this film called Lake Mungo. Now, I've seen the film only one time. I do remember really enjoying it, but at the same time, I've only seen it one time, so my memory is very hazy. It's not like, Predator, Predator 2, The Blob, Blair Witch Project, The Tunnel, like a film I've seen over and over again. Just so many movies, it's hard to repeat movies, and you can't repeat every movie. But I do remember quite liking this. So in a way, it'd be kind of like watch it for the first time. But yeah, if anyone has any requests, feel free to send them. PayPal's usually the best bet. Links are down below in the info box. I'm paused at the beginning. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. Yeah, I forgot this was part of the After Dark film and the 8 Films to Die For or whatever the hell. I forgot it was part of any of that because very few of those movies were worth a spit. Like the After Dark films, like this is one of the only ones I liked. I also liked, what was it? The Deaths of Ian Stone, I remember enjoying. But this is done in a found footage, but done in like a documentary style type of movie. Mockumentary, it's the best way to put it. I mean, when I think of mockumentaries, I think of comedies like This is Spinal Tap, but it is a fake documentary. A mockumentary is still what it is. And I think what intrigued me, number one, that format does intrigue me. I'm a sucker for fake documentaries. How you get the intrigue of what a documentary could showcase, but at the same time not the sad or guilt or whatever the case may be of, man, people really died or these people are really suffering. Because you know it's fiction, but at the same time you get the intrigue of the mystery or the story or everything in between. For example, other horror mockumentaries, Savage Land. Like for PsychoHobo, since you requested this, I would recommend Savage Land. That's a good one. That's about a town that has been wiped out. There's one survivor. A tragic accident began a series of extraordinary events that thrust a grieving family and a small Victorian town of Ararat into the media spotlight in December 2005. This film is a record of those events. But yeah, Savage Land was like a town that was wiped out, and there was one survivor. They think he did it. There's racial tensions, but ultimately we find out that he took all these photographs, and people are trying to piece together what might have happened via these photographs. Another one, which is not a horror film, but Population Zero. That's a pretty decent one. Howard's Bill I thought was okay. And the thing is, like, number one, I'm like, okay, it's not strictly found footage. It's done like a documentary, so thus you'll have good-looking shots like this. What was the other one? Horror in the High Desert. In a way, kind of did that. The sequel was there, but I liked the first Horror in the High Desert. And see, here we got, like, seemingly old film footage of this news crew, of this accident that happened, search and rescue divers, which looked legitimate. I'm like, wow, okay, they really made it look like those old school news programs with the video quality. And I did. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. It's intriguing to me. It's a different type of format. Even from found footage where it's always shaky, point of view of a person, here that have interviews and get their thoughts and all this other stuff. News footage, shots that are centered. In a way, The Tunnel was kind of like that, where it had these interviews, but then a lot of it's played out of what their footage was, but then once in a while you get interviews. So, but yeah, Savage Land, in a way, The Tunnel, Horror of the High Desert, Population Zero. Howard's Mill was, I didn't okay. Was it Howard's? I think it was Howard's Mill. It was something Howard. I'm bad with names. So here's the family talking about the night their daughter slash the guy's sister, their parents' daughter, see if they could find her, see her. Remember the acting being pretty good, and that's what I'm gonna say. Also, like when I saw this, the cover of the film, I think is a bit misleading. That's why it's probably just gonna be the text, because I don't think the cover really sells this film appropriately. It sells it as if it's a sequel to White Noise. White Noise 3, The Lake, or whatever. This is not really a horror film. It's more of a drama, supernatural drama, really. But it's more about this family trying to deal with their grief, and they kind of find out about this spirit that may be the spirit of the person they love, and a bit of mystery of what might have happened or what could have happened. So it's more, it's more of a mystery, drama, supernatural style. This is not a horror film. To me, I don't think the film is scary, and it doesn't seem like it was meant to be scary. But yeah, that also made it a bit. I expected. This is when I think I saw this when I was worked at the video store. I worked at the video store, and all this other stuff's going on, where each week you kind of just see what's happening, what's going on, and I just checking movies out one by one, and you can rent movies for free since you worked there, and so I would just pretty much rent whatever the case may be. Oh, I got a weekend off. I'll just go rent some and watch them, maybe even review some of them, maybe not, and my situation was okay that I could work part time, and so that job was pretty much part time. So I would have like free time to just watch a bunch of these type of movies. But yeah, I wasn't really that sure. Again, the title, I did something like Mungo. The I think this is a nice. I do remember this being a nice little gem of a film, but the title and the poster I think are big detriments. Lake Mungo just sounds blah. I mean, it either sounds like okay, it's Lake Mungo, like doesn't tell you anything. Is it like just a wannabe white noise movie? Is it some spear on the lake that kills people? You maybe visualize a bunch of friends go to a lake to party, and then they kill one by one. Again, here's just interviews with a bunch of people that knew her and wondering, you know, their first reaction as to their friend, whoever, to go missing. That she went missing. Obviously still missing. Porch light on in case she comes back. Hope. The slimmest of hope. Maybe like somehow she escapes, or somehow something else happens, she's able to get back. We'll leave the light on for you. It's not just Motel 6. December 21st, 2005 was that footage. Ah, Christmas Eve, really? Police video from Christmas Eve. located her body. Do you imagine that? Fuck. Christmas Eve. What a great fucking Christmas. And like they got like this one like seems like a police officer, this lady. Seems like someone they would get just to interview. And again, the way they did with the to make it look quote as legitimate as possible, and either you're intrigued by this type of format or you're not. If you're not, then I don't see, any film changing your mind. But for me, again, this stuff, like I said, maybe because for so many decades, I watched so many movies that when it's like a little subgenre that's doing like a different format, different look, it just fascinates me more. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of movies are shot regularly, but how many are shot mockumentary style? Compared to tens of thousands of stuff. Ooh, damn. She got fucked up. Sheets you gotta fill out to showcase that yes, this is the ID of so and so. We drove back to the town in reverse. Either that or walk, and given everything that happened, seemed like the better option, really. That's a good, skyline for the sunrise. I think you see shots like this, like it looks very well photographed, like a real documentary would be, like something you would see on take your pick of, what type of shows would have that kind of thing. I forget the name of those shows. I haven't watched a lot. Like, because I said, watch it for real would be depressing. Like, if I watch this for real, it's about, oh, this person really did die, and the body really was found on Christmas Eve, and this family, I'd be so depressed. But again, because I know this is a movie, it just makes it more interesting. I know this sounds stupid, but just more interesting without the guilt, in a weird way. Guilt, yeah, being intrigued by the story, but at the same time, someone was hurt or killed during the story. So, to me, you get the best of both. Nice looking church, spiffy and clean. But again, this was kind of you look at the cover or such, and it's kind of looked at. I mean, it was advertised like it was going to be a horror movie, and it's really not. So it's on Tubi, but I have the DVD of it. Alice drowns while swimming, and her family begins experiencing events in their home. Family hires a parapsychologist whose investigation unveils Alice's secret double life and leads them all to Lake Mungo. So again, it's more of a mystery. I say that I don't know if I call it a horror film. It's been a while since I've seen this. I just like elements of this people could look at as horror. To be fair, these little like paranormal activity type of moments. I like this a lot more than paranormal activity because I don't know, the story just just the way it's told with the interviews to let us know deeper about the characters, what they're thinking. I mean, I know it could be talky, exposition filled, but the fact that we know why they act this way. Sometimes with characters, you go, "Why the fuck they acting that way?" Or "Why they acting this way?" Or "Why they doing this?" Well, here you get a clear case of it. You may agree or disagree, but at least you get a case of what their reason happens to be. So the writer-director wrote the bulk of the film in 2005, but he was finding it difficult to acquire funding. He decided to write a fictional documentary-style story that he could film on a low budget. I don't think it's a supernatural thriller. I think it's meant to be an exploration of grief. It's a good way to put it. The actors were tasked with improvising their scenes. Anderson also served as the off-screen interviewer in many of the documentary-style interview scenes that composed the film, although his role was left uncredited. So, Perrin, get the general idea and then say it how you would say it. It's actually interesting. Did get a lot of good reviews, but this day is still pretty under the radar. Like, you never hear anyone bring this film up. At least as far as I know. I was just checking something out real quick. Yeah, Neil Marshall, the guy who did The Descent and the guy who did Dog Soldiers, he said, "The last movie that really got to me was Late Mungo. I highly recommend this brilliantly constructed and expertly realized horror mockumentary." So, Neil Marshall was a fan of the film. So, there you go. Let me see if I can find it. He was sobbing because he got his dick caught in the zipper. But no, seriously, the guy thought he saw, his daughter, you know, doing something, being part of something. So, there you go. I mean, that's the thing. Like, what would you do? Like, that's the question that comes up. What would you do if a loved one, is passed away, and then they're talking about this stuff, and you're going through this, and you say they're going, what the hell could you do? Like, what the hell do you? How do you handle it? I guess is the question. How do you handle you know, a loved one being there, can't move on, you would think you're going insane. You're going crazy. And also, you would think, well, is there anything I can do? Is there surely anything I could do that makes this worth helping the spirit out? Will it be all for naught? Is there a way to do it? That's not just BS in a movie? Do you just move and see on the other side? Do you exercise it? Does that hurt it? Does it help it? Do they know what need to be done? The spirits even know? Damn, look at all those spots. Jesus. What the fuck? All these bruises. Bruises. Causes were never showed up, huh? Yeah. I was seeing that there was audio of that interview, but I guess not. Hmm. See if we can. Yeah, that's the other thing. You sit there, you go, can you really, how do I put it? Can you really photograph spirits? Is all a trick of the eye? Stuff I do not know, honestly. Okay, there is an interview, but it's like an hour long and would not know where the hell to even find it. Okay, so yeah, this is the brother character who's taking photos. Yeah, you definitely see the hills out there. Even that, like the details of having to change the background enough so it's the same shots, the same area, but make it seem as if a long time has passed. From what I remember about this, I seem to think that he doctored the photos for a reason. I forget what the reason was. Like these photos he doctored, that she wasn't really standing there. I forget what the hell the reason was though. Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking through this. Sorry, just looking through this. Yeah, I mean, you see that stuff, it would be creepy shit. You'd be wondering, what the hell am I looking at? And, you know, is what I'm looking at real or not? And of course, they couldn't find out. That is bullshit. Which, I mean, that kid would probably get smacked from the face across the five across the eyes and right across the cheek by some people. You little fucker, you liar. Uh, so the wife thinks the husband made a mistake and identified the wrong body. Do you imagine your wife thinking you'd be so stupid you try to recognize your own fucking daughter? Let's see if this does it.
Shit. But the fact that they treat it in such a very realistic manner, Friedkin did that, I think just lends so much weight to it that makes it truly terrifying. But people ask me recently to say, what's the scariest film you've seen recently?
Yeah.
And the answer I give there is, and this, it's not even new, this is like 10 years ago, but nothing's topped it, is Lake Mungo.
So our mutual friend Janine introduced me to the name alone. I haven't seen it. What is Lake Mungo? I feel like I'm in the dark here. I'd never even heard of it.
It was released. It got a kind of very brief release. I don't know, it's like 10 years ago or something like that. I can't remember what they were called.
And you know, people are wondering, this is Neil Marshall, the director of The Descent and Dog Soldiers, and that shitty Hellboy film. But even he says it was shitty because he didn't get to make the movie he wanted, and from the get-go, the studios were pretty much pulling the movie away from him, and he couldn't really do anything.
It's like a group of films that were released together, and that was part of them. Oh, what was the name? Anyway, but so I saw it. I didn't see it at the cinema. I saw it on video, on DVD for the first time. Video. Sounds good.
Yeah, I know. Look at this. Yeah. I'm there with you. I'm like, I missed those video stores, looking at all the VHS covers.
And it's a pseudo documentary. It's a docudrama or whatever you want to call it, and it's absolutely, it's got such a kicker of an ending. Absolutely. But it's full of wonderful twists and turns on the way of like, holy shit, it's going this way. And just when you think it's one of these things, it's like, oh, no, it's not. Oh, fuck that. Where's it going now? Oh, it's one of those things. And all the time you're just like, because the performances, the way it's done is so beautifully made. The performances are 100% convincing that you think you're watching a documentary about something. And then the final punchline, if it doesn't absolutely floor you, I'd be amazed. Like
oh my god!
So
I'm so excited
because I pitch it to everybody and they all go, yeah, fucking hell, I watched it. Holy shit, you didn't give me warning about that. And Janine was one of them. It was like she was just like, fuck. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a really good one. And I've been extolling its virtues for years and years and years. The director, he didn't do anything else, which is such a tragedy. Like I got in touch with him at the time and we lost touch. But it was like, you know, I'd love to see him do something else. But like, you know. But even if he only made one film, and it's a work of genius, yeah.
What a statement to end on! A movie that I'm sure a lot of
pretty high praise. I mean, from Neil Marshall, and it's like he said, this guy never got to direct again because, even like the interviewer said, he had never heard of the film. Most people have never heard of the film because, think about it. This comes out around 2008. As part of the 8 films to die for after dark, all that horse shit. Which, to be honest, most of those films fucking sucked ass. They had a reputation from a good chunk of people that they sucked ass. In fact, most people would say that, well, they would say all the ones I've seen sucked. So, if you saw 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 and you thought it sucked, and here it's like they're seeing footage of a dark figure, they're thinking, oh god, there must be a spirit in the house, what's going on, and so forth. But yeah. so many people. I guarantee I could talk to people and be like, "Oh yeah, I saw some of those. They sucked." Like, or maybe they liked one, or maybe they liked two, and then they didn't bother to see the other ones. And then, like I said, the cover of the film, it's either it's some fade out like ghost figure or someone like a wannabe white noise. Like I said, I'm just repeating myself. And in the title, very blasé title, Lake Mungo doesn't stick out. Mungo, like Mungo, Lake Mungo. Okay. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's part of a festival that's not really that successful. I know they did a couple, but I mean, I don't know. I guess you say if it was that unsuccessful, how could they do a couple of them? Like a couple A films die for? Well, I guess that's true, but I guess enough rentals for people to see. But then again, they see the majority they thought looked like shit, and they saw it first because they were curious, and seems like a neat idea, and then you get this crap reward for it, and then sadly some of these other films get lost in the pipeline, and then from since 2008, who has talked about this film other than Neil Marshall? But who else has talked about this film? You think big YouTubers have talked about this film? No. These films don't get re-released. These films, I don't even know if this film has a Blu-ray. Like Mungo, I don't know if this has a Blu-ray. So it's one of those things you look at and, how could anyone hear about this film? Especially when then they release movie after movie after movie after movie after movie on streaming services that just you sit there and go, well, here's another one they threw out, here's another movie they threw out, here's another 4 movies they threw out. So then good movies will drown. No pun intended with what happened to the character. They drown amidst a celluloid world of shit. So it's so hard for any movie to swim up and get recognition. You have to either have a hook, a bit of luck, a bit of timing, all sorts of it. So it's very tough. It's very tough. What a way to tell someone, you're gonna die. So now she's getting a reading consultation from this guy. So apparently there is a Blu-ray, but is this an overseas Blu-ray? See who released. So it does have a Blu-ray. And Second Sight. Okay, Second Sight did a Blu-ray of it. Okay, Second Sight re-released it. That's a little bit of a better cover, I'll admit. You can see here, that's a little bit of a better cover. I mean, still don't know if it sells the film, but aesthetically, it looks better than the other posters, I will say. I don't know, maybe if it was like the family photo, then you see like a figure behind them, maybe that would sell it more directly as to what the film's about. But see, this is the cover I'm talking about. Like this. Okay, does that not look like a sequel to White Noise? White Noise 3: The Lake. Like that's the cover. Like how that cover. A girl, her top half is naked. In 2008, Alice Palmer died, but her nightmare didn't. That's the tagline. Like that's a films to die for. That's a shitty cover. In my opinion, that's a shitty cover. And then the other cover, if I can find it. This other cover sucks too. Or poster, I should say. And look at this poster. This is the one on Wikipedia. Look at that. Look at this poster. Like, that's... How do you look at this poster and go, man, I can't wait to see this movie? There's the poster. Like... There's the poster, like... Can't... Stupid fucking poster. Great. She fell in a fucking fax machine. And that's how you sell the fucking movie. They both suck. In my opinion. Hmm. But yeah, I agree with Neil Marshall that the performances are definitely good and believable. So here they're doing the little seance. And all that jazz. Oh, lo and behold, the next day or so, reviewing the footage. Although I didn't with Matthew reviewing the footage because he faced some shit. But yeah, I forgot what the hell the reason being that he did it. And there's like one of the twists on it. But then, I mean, more than likely you've seen the film before watching this video, so shut this off. Pretty much the whole gist is that I remember. The kid faked it. I forget what the reason was. Then they think that he was all bullshit, but then there's some bit of truth to it. And then you find out another secret about the girl, like this, she wasn't as innocent people thought. Something about she did stuff with a neighbor or some neighbors or something. And then, some, oh, some about trying to find clues as to what led to her death. And when Neil Marshall said, "Oh, the ending was such a knockout," like that type, I think he's blown that a bit out of proportion. I do like the ending. I don't think it was as striking as he thought, but The way I took it was that the family, they thought, okay, she's passed over, she's at rest. They leave, and then you come to find out that they really. Oh, there you go. Doctoring the Foes of Alice. And the Matthew kid is struggling. Okay, so the doctor guy thought this guy was faking the photos. Well, I mean, yeah, it's a guy that, maybe he's open to paranormal, but you gotta think there could be a lot of realistic solutions going on as well. I say realistic because, I mean, I want to believe in ghosts and shit. I would like to believe in it. I do. I would like to believe in ghosts and stuff. I would like to believe that, there's stuff going on after we die. I absolutely would love to believe in it. Number one, I've never seen it. I've never seen witnessed any myself. I would love to, but never witnessed any myself. That's number one. Number two, a lot of people faked a lot of stuff for views and notice. Whether it be like all those ghost hunter type of shows. And think about it. If absolutely nothing happened during any of those ghost hunting, do you think that show would have lasted 4 episodes? Well, we came here, nothing happened. We found a bit of lint. We found. Of course, no, we didn't stage it. I guess it would be funny if like the two ghost hunter guys like they truly believed it was real, but unbeknownst to them, people who worked for the documentary crew was doing the shit behind their back, and they didn't catch on, even to this day, because they were that good. So parents are doing some investigating. Could have looked like a female figure. Ah, their son Matthew. There you go. So then I'm sure at this point you watch it thinking maybe it's this kid trying to deal with grief and he's faking this whole thing because he can't deal with his sister being gone. So he's doctoring the photos and well, I mean, which would be an interesting story on itself. This person's lackluster way of dealing with grief and want to make a mystery out of it and I was responsible for the image, the April 20th backyard photo, and the seance image. I just told him what I'd done. And now he's showing how he did it. Which, I mean, that's an interesting twist. Obviously, the movie's not done because we still, we're about halfway through the film. So now we feel like, whoa, this footage we've been seeing has been fake. It's interesting to have him explain how he did it, which in a way this could be how a lot of people fake pictures, evidence with these same techniques. I'm talking about like on YouTube, because I don't think every fucking footage on YouTube that says it was a ghost was an actual ghost. It could be these very same techniques. And like I said, to me, it's hard for me to believe until it actually happens to me. And until then, I'm the cynical guy. I'm not convinced that he really knows why he did it. No, they were not coping well. No shit. No shit, Mr. Sherlock fucking Holmes. It's like, I guess, in a weird way, it was like some weird grasp of hope that if there's something more to it, then I don't know, would have. I mean, you think your loved one is still around in spirit form, way to help contact. I mean, some kind of, what's the word? Closure. Sorry, now I'm just watching the film. I'm sorry, I'm just almost leaving the damn screen. But like I said, I could see people watching this film and going, "What the fuck? I want to see." Like again, if you're expecting paranormal activity, if you're expecting The Grudge, The Ring, if you're expecting like like you love White Noise, the film White, and this would not be the film for you. You'd be like, "What the fuck's going on? This is a drama. Where's the stairs? Where's the terror? When does it get scary? All that jazz. One is just much more of a story based movie, which I liked because I thought the story's well told and well acted. And this is, the director himself says, story of grief. But yeah, so that's the thing. That's why labeling this a horror film is not the right course of action, in my opinion. Ah, so Matthew joined the seance guy. I'm surprised that the parents, the dad, like didn't try to kick Matthew's ass. I don't know, Matthew. Although this one's spelled with one T, Matthew. At least the subtitles, and for me it's two T's. But it's like this Matthew got off easily. I see all this footage of the open road, and I mean that's stuff I would like to do. I would like to have done, to do one day. Is deal with a group of friends and I don't know, go to like what you see on those YouTube videos, a town that's a dead town, like a ghost town in the middle of nowhere, like a town that's been left behind, or these big, gigantic hotels that are massive and just was completely abandoned, all that stuff. To explore all that would be nice. But yeah, I don't really get to see that type of stuff ever. So yeah, the kid left with the guy. He says we checked the tapes. So maybe more likely someone supervised him this time to make sure he wasn't putting shit in. And oh shit, what's that? Who's that? What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Who the fuck is that? Looks like your sister. Only Russell and I were in the house when another creepy image of a girl right in front of you. There you go. The plot thickens. There really is something there. It's a hard thing to prove or disprove. That's true. That's true. This kid doesn't believe in it. I mean, that is true as well, though. I mean, there are people that do either not, if not purposely make up stuff, they embellish in their own mind and go along with it because it makes them feel better. Because we do hope that after we die, there's something left as not just. Let me put it this way: imagine if I pulled the power cord off this camcorder. That's it. All this footage you see is gone, and just unless I plug it back in or put a battery in. Just nothing. Just does it. Imagine the image is the mind. dreams, fantasies, nightmares, imaginations, memories. You see it now. By pull the plug. Nothing. Not a single thought. Not a single picture. Not a single semblance of a memory. Nothing. Even when you sleep, you can imagine stuff. You can see nothing, but you still imagine, think, react. Just the idea of absolutely nothing. You can't even think of the word nothing. That's a terrifying thought. You want to say what's scary? That's true fucking fear of that. For many people, that's a true fear of that. So if that's the case, how do you try to overlook that fear? Well, there's an afterlife. You go to heaven. You go to Valhalla. You go to this and that. There's something else. And, you know, we're not done. We're not over. There's more stuff going on, you know. And think about all the religions throughout all of existence. Why is Valhalla ridiculous, but ours are not? Why is, you know, the religion in Japan or China or Africa, why are they silly, but ours are not? And yet, a lot of them are very different. You know, it's you know, it is. That's I think the concrete fear of humanity is that everything you're thinking of right now will just be gone and nothing again. And so it's a fear that you could either stand by and live with, or it's a fear you could keep in your mind and make you go crazy. I think it makes some people go crazy and do crazy things. Or really, life is just keep yourself busy until that day comes. Keep yourself busy, and like for me, it's doing this, watching movies, playing games, drinking Mellow Yellow, or in this case, and take it day by day as we all can. Because humanity is a hypocrisy unto itself. Think about it, with humanity. The goal of life is to live as long as possible. You say to breed, but also to live as long as possible. So if that's the case, yet here I am drinking this soda, or people are smoking, or people are doing drugs, or people are doing alcohol, or people are doing stuff that you know is making yourself stressful, know is upping up your blood pressure, not doing something different, but still living with that, which shortens your life incrementally, step by step, centimeter by centimeter. So instead of living to 90, you live to 80 or 75 or whatever. So we still keep doing something like that, or like me, you drinking soda, eating fast food, but yet if that's your primal goal of humanity, yet many of us are doing something the opposite to shortchange that. That's kind of a low hypocrisy. That's why I say everybody's a hypocrite. Now, here's another twist of the story here, is that there's a videotape found where she had some relations with some neighbors. Some neighbors obviously wanted to get the tape back, and she had a bit of a double life here. Including this guy, Tui. Not just with the guy, but with the couple. sold their house and moved months after the girl died. Uh-huh. That's what I mean. This is more of a mystery drama with a supernatural vibe to it. That's the thing. There's nothing in there that's horror. There may be like one or two scenes, but again, I mean, maybe it gives you a creepy vibe, maybe, and you could say that's a bit horror. To be fair, and some films have done that, and they're still labeled as horror. So, if I saw this in the horror section, I wouldn't be like, "How dare you!" I'd be like, "Okay, sure, put it there. It'll fit better. It'll fit there instead of drama section, or sometimes they would have a mystery section." Although I think mystery is probably the better way to describe it, but I just mean that people thought it was a different, it's not the horror film, it's not a horror film people think, jump scares, shit like that. But I just really like Savage Land is the same way. Population Zero, that's definitely more of a drama, mystery, but pseudo documentary, mockumentary. Like I said, if you like this, I would recommend Savage Land, Population Zero, maybe The Tunnel. I mean, I love The Tunnel, but maybe for other people, The Tunnel would work for people. And and this guy had met with their daughter before, confidentiality. And she obviously had fears and something going on as well. Something going on as well. So now the parents are pissed. But for the doctors, like, it was confidential. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, if he told, maybe by law, he would have been fucked. I mean, I don't know how his profession works, but isn't there like a confidentiality that... I do see the family's point of view. It's like, you've been with us this whole time, you've been trying to help, but you could have told us this pertinent information that we could have had at the beginning of the day. If it wasn't illegal, then you should have fucking said it. Like, that's a cool looking shot. That's obviously put the camera, have it film for the whole day, and then just fast forward through it, or time lapse, as they call it. And obviously, the girl that died who went to the doctor, she was having issues. Something was going on. Perhaps her being haunted herself. Alice's diary entry. 7 months before her death. So. I would say try to find this fucking Tui family, find them and knock on their door and go, "What'd you do with my daughter? Here's the footage. You fucked my daughter? I fucked you up." Well, you get arrested. Call O.J. Simpson, maybe. He'll find his buddy. What the fuck did he say his buddy was? There was that I forgot what the fuck it was called. I don't know. There's an interview he did where it's like he doesn't know anything about it. Then he says, "What I think might have happened was this guy here and this guy here." And then as the interview went on, he kept saying, "I did this, I did that." But can't do anything. Double jeopardy. And not the game show. Aunt Hans, you want to try double jeopardy? Will the scores to really change? Kim's phone video footage, August 2005. True. If we didn't tell it, it would seem like we were hiding something. True. Good point. Oh, isn't it like they find her phone and then they're able to look at the footage? Like at Late Mungo, they're able to find their phone. Did she look forlorn? I don't know if that's a look of worry. I guess. This is Tate's phone footage. I don't know if you really find out what caused the death of this girl. From what I remember, like, doesn't she seem like she sees like a version of herself? I could barely tell she was burying something. So she says she lost her phone. She was upset. That was pretty obvious. Because I think they find the phone, they see the footage, and it's like some like doppelganger, like it's like maybe like a vision of her death. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's like an omen. Like, hey, you're gonna die soon. Here's an omen to let you know you're gonna die soon. And so, she stared about that. Then sooner or later, she drowned. So I don't know if it's trying to say like a demon drowned her or that it was just kind of like an omen, like, hey, you're gonna drown. And ultimately, she did. I don't know, maybe they go into details. Like I said, I haven't seen this probably since it came out. Because I remember liking it and then getting the DVD, going, I want to get this for the collection. And I probably watched it again then. So I guess if that's the case, then this would be the third time I've seen it. But yeah. It's a really good looking shots. I mean, the director had the right idea to make sure we get these shots that go from light to day or day to night, because you get some really beautiful visual look at the sky that really makes the image pop. Allie's favorite necklace. Probably her phone. So more than likely she buried her important things because in case something happens to her. Um, but you would think it'd be like, hey, can you keep this? I'll be right back, or something. I don't know. Or take it home and put it somewhere. That's the thing. Like, I don't know why she would want to bury it in there. Just take it home and put it on your bed. Keep it in your room. That way, if something happens, they can find it a lot easier. I feel like something bad is going to happen to me. Okay, this is the I would say the probably the one horror moment in the movie. Is like she sees a version of herself. Looking all fucked up and dead. Twice dead. That's the way her body looked. That was the body the dad ID'd. So steer the shove and she ran off. And I don't know if it really goes into any explanation. Maybe for the best. Because how would they know? I mean, they could try to pull an explanation out of their ass. But yeah, what would, I mean... It is soon after, that's why she buried the shit. But again, why be like, hey, make sure this gets home, or again, go straight home and put it in your fucking room. So that's the question. I don't understand why she would bury it there instead of just going home and put it in her room. In case anything happens to me, here you go. Put like a little note. I'm convinced that Alice knew she was going to die. Or maybe she knew she'd die that moment. Not an omen. There's no omen for her. The burial of her possession was symbolic. It was a ritual. It was... Now the dad's trying to think of what he saw. The family thinks she recorded a ghost, but it was a ghost of herself. I mean, what else? I mean, what else do you say? So they found out about the Tuies. They found out about Lake Mungo. I mean, they found, yeah. So now the family thinks everything's fine. It's calm. They don't feel anything. I think this is the kicker that Neil Marsh was talking about. Like the mom says, she wanted us to know before she left, passed on. But that never happens, and that's the clincher is that the family is happy, they're calm, they move, but the spirit's still there. She didn't move on. Why that's the case? Maybe she's like, I mean, to be truthful, like there wasn't any like big paranormal things thrown about. It was the photos were doctored. Really, it was just a feeling. Just a feeling. So the people, the living moved on, but the dead didn't. So I don't know. Maybe she's just like, what else? I mean, I guess for the ghost, maybe she's like, what else can I do? Am I going to be a dick and haunt my own family, or I'm just going to keep quiet and let them move on? Yeah, they're getting ready to move. I mean, I guess if she really, like, if the spirit really wanted to do something, just flip the bed and go, don't fucking go. That would get their fucking attention. They stay in a heartbeat. But I guess maybe she just like, they'll be happy. But Sally, she didn't move on. Maybe ghosts don't move on. I don't know. That's kind of the weird heartbreak too, is that technically their daughter is still there. And how you deal with grief, you gotta move on, even though I guess even the spirit decided to move on. Unless there's something else to the ending I'm not realizing. And if someone wants to mention it, feel free in the comment section. But unless there's something else I'm not realizing. So this is our final consultation. Sorry, now I'm just watching it again. I apologize for the silence. Sorry, look at the dialogue. So she was having a consultation. It was cutting back to the girl back in the day having a consultation about how the mom was there but didn't see her and all that. Alice's spirit remained in the house even once her family decided that she must be at peace. It's a heartbreaking detail. Her parents desperately want her to be at rest, yet her own worst nightmare, being trapped and invisible to them, actually came true. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. They moved. You think everything's fine? And there she is back there. Still not at peace. So this other footage, she was there the whole time. So maybe it was a take on teenagers feeling that they are invisible, that they won't be noticed. Please notice me. And time again, if you look closely, she's in this footage. She was there the whole time, and no one noticed her. Truly, they knows the doctored footage parts. They didn't notice the other parts. Even that photo, everybody was looking to the left, but no one looked over to the right. If they did, they see another photo, and you'd be like, "Wait, I didn't do that one. I did the one on the left, but I didn't do that one on the right." So, even in death, she's ignored. Not on purpose, of course, but there you go. So the family thinks the daughter's at peace and everything's fine, and it's not truly the case, which is that oh shit factor. Like, oh man, that type of thing. But yeah, that's Lake Mungo. Like I said, it's very low key, as in there's no jump scares. The one little bit of horror is maybe her seeing a ghostly omen of herself on the phone. But yeah, it's much more of a, like I said, mystery drama about grief, and you know, the family's able to move on, but Sally, the heartbreaking bit is Spirit didn't. And I don't know if there'd be a way. Just even in death, she gets screwed over. Sad. I mean, it makes you think, though. Definitely a movie that makes you think. Makes you think on, just think about certain things. But yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. And there's no special features, which sucks. Like, there's 2 trailers. That's it, just 2 fucking trailers. Like, again, no interviews, no commentaries, nothing of the sort. And that's the thing, this one was like, you do get, it's kind of a heartbreaking ending, but it's not everyone dies, typical found footage stuff. And yeah, no, like, other features. There's subtitles, there's scene selection, special features, 2 trailers, also from Lionsgate. The 8 films to die for, After Dark shit. I think a bunch of trailers for a lot of the After Dark horror movies. So. Or at least the past 8 films to die for, I guess. Oh, Saw 6, great. Some fucking channel that I've never heard of. Opix? Epics. Okay, Epics. Do you even use Epics with an X? Fear.net. God, I forgot about Fear.net. Holy shit. God, I forgot about that. But there you go. Thank you once again, PsychoHobo. Take care, everyone. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.